How's it going, YouTube? Dr. V here today, bringing you my week 3 team builder, and holy crap, we're already in week 3. Who would have thought, right? So, yeah, for this week we have some special things going on here that I, I'm finally happy to announce that we have made our free agent transactions for the season. Now, here in the Pokemon Masters Cup, we're allowed 3 free agent drops and ads, and I decided to go ahead and use all 3 of them. Now, the reason for this is quite simple, actually. We, or basically, what basically happened is my team wasn't well-rounded enough. It needed some help after the draft, so I decided just to get my free agency done as soon as possible, which was right after week 2. Yeah, I made the transactions, and here we go. So we'll start off by introducing the new members of our team, and then we'll go on to this week's team builder. So for this week, we started out by dropping Mega Steelix. Now, Mega Steelix was replaced by Mega Ampharos, and I I think it's a particularly good trade for us. There's Mega Ampharos' speed isn't much better, but its defenses and everything else, they add up. They add a bit more bulk to the team, and its Dragon and Electric typing can help it wall a couple different things that Mega Steelix can't wall. And also, it doesn't have bad special attack with base 165. So, yeah, I decided that Mega Ampharos was a better way for us to go with this, especially with what we were lacking. Yeah, so welcome to Fabio, the Mega Ampharos, of course. That's the only acceptable nickname for one of those. So next step, a mon that I had not seen the field yet, Superior. I really like Superior, but I just couldn't take him without having too many weaknesses to one type or another. So I decided to make a trade for Diggersby. Let me pull him up here real quick. Alright, so Diggersby. Overall stats, not very great, but it has huge power, which gives it a much. It it can break through a couple walls. Its ground and normal typing is actually really good for us. It keeps the resistance that Mega Steelix had to electric types, and it resists fire. A couple other things. Diggersby can take a hit from other mons. It's not a bad mon, and then once you add in huge power, it has a base 112 attack, so it's actually really good. Its attack, it can hit a lot of things. It can damage other mons, and while it has a pretty common moveset that everyone can really expect on Diggersby, it even if you expect it, it can take you down if you're not careful. So that's why I chose Diggersby as a replacement for Superior. And our last free agent transaction, we dropped Trevenant. Now Trevenant, yeah, I just can't have him there. I had Mew already with a weakness knockoff. Espeon, knockoff really damaged my team, so I couldn't really risk taking Trevenant along with any of the other mons that are weak to knockoff. And honestly, I just preferred to take them over Trevenant. So I looked at what I was lacking, and there's one mon that I was able to take that I think really actually helps out, and that is Tornadus Incarnate. Now, this thing, it can hit pretty hard, and its base It has 3 base stats over 100. Its defenses aren't that great, but it can do some damage to mons, and the flying type really helps out. It can take down things. It can take down those grass types that I really only had Rotom Heat for, and it adds a reason for people not to bring grass types, which lets me bring Seismitoad easier into battles without having to risk hidden power grass on every single Pokemon. So it really these 3 really help balance out my team, and I'm really happy with what we got with them. So now on to this week's team builder. Now you can see the team that we have set up for this week. This week we're going up against Sharpino and the Sydney Krookodiles. They completely demolished J-Specs last week with a 4-0 victory, so if we can get the victory this week, it will really mean a lot to us in the long run, and I think we'll be able to pull. I think with this team that we have set up, we can pull up a very decent team. So I'm going to pull up his mons really quick here before introducing my team. So the mons that Sharpino has available to him, he has Mega Sableye, Talonflame, Alakazam, Metagross, Roserade, Jellicent, Perugly, Tyranitar, Dragalge, Virizion, and Cryogonal. So yeah, he has a really strongly balanced team, so I'm not sure. His mons are scary, honestly, and that Mega Sableye, I hate those things so much, but yeah, so we'll start out with our team builder, and we'll see how this thing goes. So we started out with Fabio, the Mega Ampharos. I'm pulling a bit of a cheeky set here. It's not the best set that I could have come up with for it, but against certain mons that he has, it can do some damage here. So going with Cotton Guard, Volt Switch, Dragon Pulse, and Rest. Now I'm going with Rest just in case they decide to status it and burn it, poison it, whatever. Cotton Guard, get up its defenses, then Rest to heal anything. It's only 2 turns, so after a Cotton Guard, if it's in against a physical attacker, it's definitely going to cause some issues. Volt Switch and Dragon Pulse, it gives it just some attacking moves, and Volt Switch allows me to get some switch initiative if I need it. So yeah, I'm going with a really bulky set here. I'm going with 248 HP, 130 defense, and special attack at 130. It's going to be a bold natured, so I'm going with a defensive Rotom. I mean, not Rotom, a defensive Fabio. I think this is a good set for it, especially in this matchup. He has a lot of physical attackers that can cause damage. Metagross specifically can hurt a lot of things, and Talonflame, Tyranitar, and Virizion are also special attackers, and it can handle things like the Jellicent. It can take a hit from Alakazam. I've never gone up against a Perugly, so I don't know what exactly it can do. And Cryogonal, I'm pretty sure, can be mixed many of the times. So I feel like this is a good set for it. Obviously, I'm not going to stay on Cryogonal with it, but yeah, apart from that, it seems like it's good. So next up, we have Citrine the Weavile. Now, I'm bringing her again. She's just a monster. Again, I'm just going with a standard set for her. Ice Shard, Icicle Crash, Low Kick, and Knockoff. 252 attack, 252 speed, and she's gonna be jolly natured. Nothing else on his team outspeeds me except for the Talonflame, which has priority, but let's be honest, if it comes down to Talonflame versus Weavile, Talonflame is gonna win. That's that's just the way these mons are set up, but Jolly Nature allows it to outspeed Metagross, Alakazam, Roserade, and yeah, it outspeeds all of his mons basically. So I wanted max speed on her just in case it comes to that last bit of speed that I need. And yeah, that explains why I brought Citrine this week. Next up is Fianet the Rotom. Now, Rotom is just an overall good mon. The only thing that he really has to counter it is gonna be the Jellicent and Tyranitar, but I doubt that he'll bring both of them, so that's why we're bringing Rotom Heat this week. And we're actually going with a Calm Nature to make it more specially defensive, but I want some defense invested in there also just for that Metagross, really. Like, Fianet's gonna be my go-to Rotom. Fianet the Rotom is gonna be my go-to Metagross switch. Metagross really can't touch this thing. It's not hit by Earthquake, so it'd have to Meteor Mash, Bullet Punch, or Zen Headbutt it, but that's why we're going with the Rocky Helmet. And yeah, the Rocky Helmet will add some more damage to it. So we're going with Volt Switch, Overheat, Will-O-Wisp, and Thunderbolt for the attacks that we have on here. Overheat will obviously kill a Metagross. Thunderbolt can really hurt the Talonflame, the Jellicent, and it can do some damage to Cryogonal and Sableye if Sableye is still just at normal state. And Overheat just hits everything pretty hard, so that's why we're going with that. Yeah, and we're going with 248 HP, 126 defense, 8 special attack, and 126 in special defense. So I think this mon's going to be really important. Actually, right now I'm just thinking, and Mega Sableye is such a problem. I think I'm gonna, yeah. So I'm gonna get rid of Thunderbolt, and I'm gonna go with Pain Split. Now, the reason behind this is Pain Split, it can take down Mega Sableye's HP some more to where, say it gets off, I don't know, say it gets off a knockoff and brings down our HP to close, and we Pain Split, it'll have to go for a recover, so we can Pain Split again. I'm sure that will outspeed. Here, I don't think anyone really runs speed investments on Mega Sableye. So we should be able to outspeed it. And yeah, after some residual damage, I think Icicle Crash does around 42%, 40% maybe, to Mega Sableye, so if we get off a Pain Split, it's possible that we could OHKO it. Or even, I don't know, Mega Sableye can definitely cause a problem. Maybe we can get lucky and get a flinch and get a 2-hit KO on it, but yeah, definitely Pain Split is a better way to go for this. Especially since Mega Sableye tend to be more of a Stallymon, and this way we can stall out those recovers. Alright, so next up, we have another of our new additions. It's Thugs Bunny the Diggersby. Now he's holding a Life Orb with huge power, Earthquake, Quick Attack, not Earthquake, getting silly, Return, and Stone Edge. Well, apparently I can't type, so bear with me. Now, we're going with the same speed as, the exact same thing as we have on Citrine. Diggersby, I know, can take a hit from Talonflame, so it's it can, if Talonflame decides to go for a Brave Bird or Flare Blitz, Diggersby will take one hit at least, and I can just go for a Stone Edge on it, and hopefully we can connect. If not, I'd have to bank on them not having any speed investment and going for a quick attack or something, hoping we outspeed naturally. But I really don't want to bank on that happening, so yeah, Diggersby, the Doug's Bunny Diggersby is here. Alright, so next up, we have our first overall pick in the draft. We hadn't brought him for, I don't know, I should have brought him last week. He probably would have been a bit better, but we have Soul Gazer the Espeon. Now, I'm going with a Citrus Berry this week. Normally I go Assault Vest, but I feel like I might need to Calm Mind, set up some Calm Minds, and a Citrus Berry will just let us get some of our HP back, which would not be a bad thing. And I'm going for a lot of speed this time. I really want to outspeed his Mons and just get as much damage out as possible. So we're going with 252 speed, 252 special attack, and 4 in special defense, with a timid nature for extra speed. And for moves, we're going Dazzling Gleam, Calm Mind, Psyshock, and Shadow Ball. So these 3 moves will hit pretty much everything on his team. Yeah, they hit really everything. So I feel like that's our best moveset for Soul Gazer, and I hope that he can put in a bit of work here. And last but not least, we have Loki the Togekiss. So we're going with Leftovers and Serene Grace with Nasty Plot, Air Slash, Dazzling Gleam, and Roost. So 4 HP, 252 special attack, and 252 speed. With Togekiss, it has a high enough speed where it'll outspeed things that on his team that aren't named Alakazam or Metagross. So yeah, or Talonflame, I guess. And Nasty Plot will just allow us to get more damage off, and yeah, Roost will give us back some of our HP if it comes down to a stally type game. Then we have Air Slash and Dazzling Gleam to help take out. Dazzling Gleam is really on there for Mega Sableye. That's really what it's on there for. So yeah, this is our team for this week. I'm excited for this match. I'm really nervous actually. So I really don't want to fall to 0-3. Hopefully we can pull out a victory, but I don't know. It's gonna be tough. That's all I know from here. All right, well, see you next time, guys.